The wind sweeps through the open fields of Heartland. The ranch looks calm, but something is wrong. Two men, Caleb and Nathan, are missing, and Amy feels the silence growing heavier with every passing hour. The horses sense it too, restless and uneasy, as if they know the truth hiding behind the mountains. Amy stands by the fence, eyes fixed on the horizon, her heart whispering one question: what really happened out there? The sun is setting over the golden fields, and the sound of horses fades into the wind. Amy walks slowly across the barnyard, her boots pressing against the dusty ground. It has been 2 days since Caleb and Nathan disappeared, and the ranch feels colder, quieter. Every door creak, every gust of wind feels like a message waiting to be understood. She stops by the stable, brushing her hand over the wooden post where Caleb used to tie his horse. The rope still hangs there, frayed at the edges, swinging slightly, as if touched by memory. Inside the barn, Amy finds Ashley standing near the feed barrels. Her eyes are red from crying, but there's a spark of determination in her voice. "We can't just wait, Amy," she says softly. "We have to find them." Amy nods, but her thoughts are heavy. She keeps remembering the last night they all spent together, laughing near the fire, unaware of how quickly things would change. There were no arguments, no signs of trouble, and yet by morning, both Caleb and Nathan were gone. No note, no tracks, just 2 horses left behind and a mystery that grows darker by the minute. The air around them feels thick, full of worry and unspoken fear. Jack tries to keep everyone calm, but even his voice shakes when he says, "They're tough boys. They'll find their way back." Lou hides her concern behind work, but the others can see the tension in her face. Every call that goes unanswered, every hour that passes, makes the truth harder to ignore. Something isn't right. Amy starts to piece together the moments before they vanished, small details she might have missed. Caleb had been distracted lately, checking his phone more often, whispering when no one else was around. Nathan seemed distant too, avoiding questions, staring at the hills for too long. Maybe they were chasing something or running from it. That night, the sky turns dark and heavy with clouds. Thunder rolls in the distance and the ranch dogs bark toward the open fields. Amy can't sleep. She steps outside with her flashlight, the beam cutting through the mist. The horses move restlessly, their ears twitching toward the north ridge. That's when she sees it, a glimmer on the ground near the fence. She kneels down and finds a silver horseshoe, half buried in the dirt, shining faintly under the moonlight. It's not one of theirs. She picks it up, turning it in her hand. The metal feels cold, almost warning her. Amy doesn't understand why, but she knows this isn't just a clue. It's a sign. Something is calling them into the unknown, and it's only the beginning. The morning air is sharp and silent, the kind that carries secrets instead of words. Amy stands by the truck, her fingers tight around the silver horseshoe she found the night before. It glimmers softly in the pale dawn, catching the light as if trying to speak. She doesn't know why, but something about it feels alive, like a whisper from Caleb or Nathan, telling her to move, to keep going. Ashley joins her, wrapped in a worn denim jacket, her eyes heavy but burning with resolve. "We follow where it leads," Ashley says quietly. Amy nods, placing the horseshoe on the dashboard before they drive off into the mist-covered road that stretches beyond the ranch. The engine hums, steady but uncertain, echoing the rhythm of their hearts. Trees on either side sway under the wind, their branches pointing toward the north ridge. It's the same direction the horses were staring last night, the same place that feels both familiar and foreign. Amy's mind drifts between fear and hope. She keeps thinking about Caleb's laugh, Nathan's quiet strength, and the strange way both seemed haunted in the days before they vanished. Every thought adds a new question, and every mile deepens the ache of not knowing. They stop at the first clearing, an old path once used by ranch hands to cut through the valley. The grass is long, the soil marked by faint tracks. Ashley kneels down, tracing a shallow imprint with her fingertips. "This isn't fresh," she murmurs, "but it's recent enough." Amy scans the area and spots a torn piece of fabric caught on a thorn bush. It's blue, the same color as Nathan's work shirt. Her breath catches for a moment. She pulls it free, her hand trembling, then looks at Ashley. "They came this way," she says. The realization hits both of them at once. They're not chasing shadows. They're following footsteps that still echo through these hills. The further they go, the thicker the air becomes. The valley narrows, the trees press closer, and the road disappears beneath the wheels. Birds no longer sing here. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. At the edge of the forest, they find an old wooden sign, half fallen, its paint faded and scratched. Only a few letters remain visible. Cab! Enough to send a shiver down Amy's spine. The old cabin. Everyone in town knows the stories. Once a herder's shelter, later a place people avoided after strange things began happening there. Broken windows, doors swinging open on their own, fires that burned and died without reason. Amy never believed in those tales, but now, as they stand before the dark outline of the cabin in the fog, belief no longer feels like a choice. They step inside, the floor creaking beneath their boots. Dust floats in the air, thick and silent. Amy's flashlight moves across old furniture, a chair, a table, a cracked picture frame. Then something catches her eye, a horseshoe nailed to the wall, identical to the one she found. Its edges are blackened, burned. She walks closer and sees a name carved faintly beneath it, Caleb. Her breath hitches, the sound of her heartbeat loud in the stillness. Ashley touches her shoulder. They were here, she whispers. The realization floods through them like a cold wave. Caleb and Nathan came to this place for a reason, and whatever they found here didn't want to be found. Outside, thunder rumbles again, closer this time. The storm Amy felt in her chest the night before is returning, not from the sky, but from the truth waiting to be uncovered. The silver horseshoe glows faintly under the flicker of lightning, a silent promise that this search is far from over. Rain falls like shattered glass, slicing through the quiet woods around the cabin. Amy and Ashley stand at the doorway, soaked and breathless, staring into the darkness beyond. The storm arrived fast, too fast, as if the world itself wanted to keep them from finding what waits in these hills. The sound of thunder swallows every thought, every word, leaving only one feeling behind: unease. Amy grips the flashlight tighter, the beam trembling across the wet ground. Inside her pocket, the silver horseshoe feels heavier now, colder, almost pulsing with a life of its own. They decide to wait out the storm inside the cabin, but the air inside feels wrong, thick with the scent of smoke and old secrets. Ashley lights a lantern she finds on the shelf, and the faint glow stretches across the room. That's when they notice it, writing scratched into the wooden table, half hidden under dust and age. Amy wipes it clean with her sleeve. The words are uneven, desperate, written by someone in a hurry. Don't trust the ridge. Her chest tightens. What does that mean? Ashley whispers. Amy doesn't answer. She's staring at the walls now, where faint handprints mark the surface near the door, as though someone had tried to claw their way out. A sudden thud comes from outside. Both women freeze. The wind howls, rattling the windows. Amy slowly walks to the window, wiping the fog from the glass. In the flash of lightning, she sees something, a shadow standing between the trees. Tall, still, watching. She blinks, but it's gone. Her pulse races. We're not alone, she murmurs. Ashley's voice trembles. Could it be them? Amy shakes her head. No, this doesn't feel like them. She steps outside despite the storm, rain drenching her hair and jacket. Her flashlight sweeps across the field, landing on something glinting near a tree trunk. She kneels and picks it up, a broken phone. Nathan's. Its screen is cracked, but one message glows faintly through the rain. It's not safe here. Leave before... The rest is gone, lost to the shattered glass. Lightning flashes again, and for a brief second, Amy sees boot prints in the mud leading deeper into the forest. Fresh ones. Someone has been here, maybe still is. She calls Ashley out, and together they follow the prints, their hearts pounding like hooves on the ground. The path twists between trees until it opens into a small clearing. There, half covered by branches, lies a campfire, still warm. Beside it, a map marked with red circles. The same ridge mentioned in the cabin message is at the center of it all. Amy studies it under the light. They were tracking something, she says. Ashley's voice is low, shaken. Or someone. The storm roars louder, wind tearing through the trees. A branch snaps behind them. Both turn quickly, lights cutting through rain and shadow, but there's nothing there. Only the whisper of the forest, cold and heavy. They return to the truck, soaked and silent. The silver horseshoe rests on the dashboard again, catching a spark of lightning through the windshield. For a moment, Amy thinks she sees her reflection twist into something unfamiliar, something watching back. She blinks and it's gone. The rain eases, but the dread does not. As they drive away from the cabin, Ashley glances into the rearview mirror and gasps softly. Behind them, in the distance, stands a figure at the cabin door, motionless, facing their direction. The storm hides its face, but its presence lingers like a shadow burned into memory. Amy doesn't look back. She can't. Whatever truth hides behind that ridge is waiting, and it's no longer just about finding Caleb and Nathan. It's about surviving what they left behind. The storm has passed, but the silence it leaves behind is louder than thunder. The dirt road twists along the edge of the ridge, swallowed by fog that moves like breath over the earth. Amy drives slowly, her eyes fixed ahead while Ashley studies the torn map they found by the fire. Every red circle on that paper feels like a heartbeat, pulling them towards something they're not ready to see. The horseshoe on the dashboard catches the morning light, no longer silver but a dull gray, as if it too is exhausted by the journey. Amy feels it deep in her chest. This isn't just a search anymore. It's a reckoning. They stop where the road ends, a wall of rock rising before them. The ridge stands tall and quiet, its surface marked with faded carvings and old initials from ranchers long gone. But there's something new, a wooden plank half buried near the base, scratched with the same words they saw in the cabin. Don't trust the ridge. Amy kneels down, brushing the dirt away, and finds something carved beneath it. The outline of a horseshoe, matching the one in her hand. They were here, she whispers. Ashley crouches beside her, her voice shaking. Then why didn't they come back? They move carefully up the narrow path that snakes toward the top. The higher they climb, the colder the air becomes. The trees thin and the land opens to a field of mist. There's a faint smell of smoke again, the same as in the cabin. Amy's heart races as she follows the scent to a hollow near the rocks. There, half hidden under a tarp, is a small campsite. 2 jackets lie folded near the ashes of a dead fire. One belongs to Caleb, the other to Nathan. Amy picks up Caleb's hat, damp with dew. Her eyes fill with tears, but before she can speak, Ashley's flashlight catches something glinting near the stones. A metal box. Inside it, they find a stack of papers, faded photographs, and a small journal with Nathan's name carved into the cover. Amy opens it slowly. The first few pages are filled with quick notes, sketches of the ridge, and words crossed out with frustration. But the last entry freezes her in place. We found something in the old mine, it reads. We're not alone. Someone's been watching us since last night. If we don't make it back, tell Amy not to follow. Her hands tremble as she closes the journal. He knew, she murmurs. They both knew. Ashley's eyes dart toward the shadows. Then who's watching now? A sound echoes from the cliffs. Not an animal, not the wind. A low, steady crunch of footsteps moving closer. Amy turns, scanning the mist. Through the fog, a silhouette appears, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a dark coat. Ashley grabs Amy's arm. Is that? The figure steps closer, and for a heartbeat, Amy sees a familiar stance, the way Caleb used to walk, steady and sure. But the moment the light hits his face, it vanishes again into the mist, leaving only footprints where he stood. Amy rushes forward, calling his name, but her voice fades into the cold air. When she stops, she notices something at her feet, another horseshoe, buried halfway in the dirt. Newer, brighter, untouched by rust. She picks it up and holds it against the first one. They're identical. The wind howls again, carrying a faint echo through the ridge, a voice she can't fully hear but knows by heart. It's Caleb, or maybe just the memory of him. Either way, it's enough. Amy looks at Ashley, her voice quiet but steady. We keep going. They wanted us to find this for a reason. As they walk away from the ridge, the fog begins to lift. The sun breaks through the clouds, painting the valley in soft gold. The ranch lies far in the distance, peaceful once more, unaware of the secrets buried in its hills. Amy takes one last look at the ridge before they leave, the 2 horseshoes glinting together in her hand. Whatever truth sleeps here, it's not done with them yet. And somewhere out there, Caleb and Nathan's story is still waiting to be told. Morning breaks over Heartland with a strange kind of calm, the kind that follows a night of truth and loss. The sky is painted in pale orange, and the wind carries the scent of wet grass and smoke from a distant fire. Amy stands near the corral, her hand resting on Spartan's mane. The horse breathes slow and steady, his warmth grounding her in the quiet aftermath. The ridge still lingers in her mind, the journal, the footprints, the voice that may or may not have been real. She can't shake the feeling that the land itself knows more than it lets on. Heartland has always been a place of healing, but now it feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for something to return. Ashley walks out from the barn, holding 2 mugs of coffee, her eyes tired but softer than before. "You didn't sleep," she says gently. Amy shakes her head. "I couldn't. Every time I close my eyes, I see that ridge." Ashley sets the mugs on the fence and sighs. "They left us clues, Amy. Maybe they wanted us to find them. Not just physically, but to understand what they were chasing." Amy's gaze drifts toward the silver horseshoes lying side by side on the post. They catch the sunlight now, glowing in quiet defiance of everything they've endured. "It's strange," she says, "how something so small can hold so much meaning. Maybe it wasn't about fear or danger. Maybe it was about faith." Ashley nods, her expression softening. Faith in the land. Faith in each other. The ranch begins to stir as Jack and Lou step out, their voices blending with the morning air. The horses neigh, the gate creaks, and for a moment, life feels normal again. But Amy can't ignore the change inside her. The search for Caleb and Nathan didn't just reveal secrets about them. It revealed something about her own strength, her quiet courage to face what couldn't be explained. The ridge may have taken answers, but it gave her something deeper, resolve. She picks up one of the horseshoes and runs her thumb along its edge. "They're out there," she says softly, "somewhere between this land and the truth it keeps." Ashley looks at her, unsure if she's speaking from hope or certainty, but decides not to ask. Later that evening, Amy walks down to the riverbank. The setting sun shimmers on the water, and the air feels lighter. She places one of the horseshoes in the soil beside a wildflower patch, a quiet promise, a symbol of all they've lost and all they'll keep searching for. The other she carries back to the barn, hanging it above the entrance where the light touches it just right. It gleams like a guardian, watching over Heartland. The camera pans slowly across the ranch, the fences, the fields, the fading horizon, and then to Amy, standing beneath the horseshoe with her eyes closed, her hand pressed against the wood. The wind picks up again, soft and warm this time, curling through her hair like a whisper. Somewhere far away, a faint echo rides on that wind, the sound of hoofbeats, steady and sure. Amy opens her eyes and smiles, not in sadness, but in quiet understanding. The story isn't over. The ridge still holds its secrets, and Caleb and Nathan's path may yet lead them home. For now, Heartland stands strong, the spirit of family and hope alive in every breath of its fields. As the screen fades to black, the last image lingers, the silver horseshoe glowing faintly under the evening light, a symbol of everything lost, everything found, and everything still to come. Dusk settles over Heartland like a secret. The sky glows red and violet, and the last light of the sun stretches across the fields, touching every fence, every leaf, every silent corner of the ranch. Amy stands near the barn, watching the horizon. Days have passed since their search at the ridge, yet the air still feels charged, heavy with something unfinished. The horses are restless again, their hooves shifting nervously as if they sense what's coming. She can feel it too, a quiet pull in her chest, like the land itself is whispering her name. Ashley joins her, holding a folded letter they found that morning tucked beneath the barn door. No one saw who left it. The paper is rough, the writing uneven, but familiar. Amy takes it, her hands trembling slightly as she reads the first line aloud. "Don't worry about us. We're safe." Her eyes widen. The letter is signed by both Caleb and Nathan. Ashley's voice breaks through the silence. "It's real, isn't it?" Amy nods, staring at the handwriting that feels too alive to be a trick. "They're out there," she whispers. "But why didn't they come back?" Before Ashley can respond, the sound of thunder rumbles in the distance, not from the sky, but from the road. A truck approaches slowly, its headlights cutting through the twilight. Dust rises as it rolls to a stop near the gate. Amy's breath catches. The door opens, and for a heartbeat, the world seems to pause. A figure steps out, broad shoulders, familiar stance, the same jacket Caleb always wore. But he's different. His movements are slow, cautious, like someone who's walked through something no one else could understand. Amy takes a step forward, her voice barely a whisper. Caleb. He looks up and the light reveals his face. Tired, bruised, but alive. Ashley rushes forward, tears already falling, but Amy stays still, searching his eyes for answers. "Where's Nathan?" she asks. Caleb lowers his gaze. "He stayed behind," he says. "He wanted to make sure no one else found what we found." His words hang in the air, heavy and unclear. Amy presses further. "What did you find?" Caleb hesitates, then shakes his head. "Not now. The ridge isn't done with us." His tone is final, filled with something close to fear. The wind picks up, carrying the scent of rain again, the same kind that started their search. It feels like a warning, or maybe a cycle repeating itself. As the night deepens, the ranch lights flicker one by one. Caleb walks toward the barn, his steps slow, the weight of his silence filling the space between them. Amy watches him disappear inside, her heart torn between relief and worry. Ashley stands beside her, clutching the letter tighter. "He's hiding something," she says. Amy nods. They both are. She looks toward the ridge in the far distance, its dark outline glowing faintly under the moonlight. The storm clouds gather once more above it, the same ones that have followed them since the beginning. The horses snort nervously, their ears flicking toward the north. Amy whispers, almost to herself, "The ridge is calling again." The screen fades slowly, the sound of wind echoing through the fields. Then faintly a new sound emerges, a voice over the wind, calm but haunting. "It's not over." The final shot lingers on the silver horseshoe hanging above the barn, swinging gently in the breeze. For a brief moment, lightning flashes, and in that instant, a shadow moves past behind the window, too fast to name, too real to ignore. The screen fades to black with one final line in white. Heartland Season 19, Episode 4, The Search Ends, The Mystery Begins. Night settles over the ranch like a soft curtain, the kind that hides truths yet leaves their echoes behind. The storm has passed once more, but the sky remains restless, streaks of silver clouds drifting across the moon. Amy walks alone through the pasture, the cool grass brushing her boots, her thoughts louder than the quiet world around her. She glances at the barn where Caleb rests inside, still silent about what truly happened in the ridge. Every creak, every flicker of light feels like a whisper from something left unfinished. She knows deep down that this piece is temporary, that the ridge hasn't let them go, it's only sleeping, waiting for the right moment to speak again. She stops by the fence line where the two horseshoes now hang side by side. One is old, dull, and worn from her journey. The other shines faintly under the moonlight, still untouched by rust. Together they seem to tell a story of two worlds, two paths, bound by the same thread of faith and loss. Amy reaches out and touches them both, her fingers tracing the edges gently. "We found you," she whispers to the night, "but we're still finding ourselves." Her words drift through the cool air, carried off into the hills where the wind hums a low, haunting tune. From behind, Ashley joins her, wrapped in a blanket, her eyes reflecting the pale glow of the moon. "Do you think Nathan's still out there?" she asks softly. Amy's gaze stays fixed on the ridge, that dark silhouette that has become both fear and hope. "Yes," she answers, her voice steady. "But I don't think he's lost. I think he's protecting something. Maybe even us." Ashley looks down, uncertain whether to believe, but she nods anyway, trusting Amy's instinct, the same instinct that has always guided her through every storm. The wind grows stronger, pushing through the trees, carrying a faint sound, like hoofbeats in the distance. Both women pause. It's too steady, too real to be the wind. Amy closes her eyes, listening, her heartbeat matching the rhythm. She smiles faintly. "They're still riding," she says, a tear slipping down her cheek. Ashley turns to her, whispering, "Then maybe this isn't the end." Amy shakes her head. "It never is, not here. Not in Heartland." As the camera pulls back, the ranch glows under the moonlight, calm, alive, eternal. The horses rest peacefully, the barn door sways gently in the breeze, and the two horseshoes glimmer together like twin stars. The scene fades slowly to the ridge in the distance, its outline softened by fog, its silence no longer frightening but sacred. A faint echo of Caleb's voice carries through the wind, a quiet promise, a vow of return. The final frame fades in. In every storm, the heart remembers. In every loss, the land listens. Heartland, where every ending is just the beginning.